Windshield wiper reservoir, properly mounted, filled to the proper level, cap on tight, no leaks. From there, you're going to move on and hit your cooling reservoir. It's properly mounted, filled to the proper level, cap on tight. Never take the cap off when it's hot. Your hoses have no cuts, scrapes, or bulges, no leaks. You clamp on tight. You're going to move on, hit it, call your breather box. It's in a locked position. Only time you open is to change the filter and lock it back. Now we're going to move on down here. What you got down here, you got an alternator, AC compressor, water pump, and fan. They're all properly mounted with no dents, cracks, or welds, no cut, strips, or bulges, no leak. Checking your fan blade for any broke or missing blades, and so you bring it to the shop. Checking your water pump for any leaks, if so you bring it to the shop, and they're all full belt driven. Right here, this is called your serpentine belt. Serpentine belt should have no more than 3/4 of an inch of play, if so I bring it to the shop. It also should have no cut or frizz on it. If he asks you how would you know, by pulling on it, shouldn't pull back no more than 3/4 of an inch of play. Now we're gonna move on. Come to the front of the truck. Right here, this is called your grill and your bumper. It's properly mounted with no dents, cracks, or legal welds. Anytime you got bolts, no loose or missing bolts. Then you're going to go under your truck and check it for fluid puddles such as oil or transmission leaks, and so I'll bring it to the shop. Now you're going to come around this. Here we're going to start at the top. Right here, this is called your transmission dipstick, where you check your transmission fluid, also where you add it if needed. Right here, this is your engine oil dipstick, where you check your engine oil. If you need to add oil, you add it right here in your black field tube. Make sure the cap on tight. From there, we're going to move on here. This is called your air valve lines and fit. Properly mounted, no dents, cracks, or welds. Your hoses have no cuts, scrapes, or bulges, no leaks. Right here, this is called your field box. Right now, it's in the locked position. Checking your electrical connection for no cuts or discoloration in your wires. From there, you're going to move on here. They call your radiator turbo. It's properly mounted, no dents, cracks, or welds. Your hoses have no cuts, scrapes, or bulges, no leaks. And you clamp on tight. From there, you're going to move here. This is called your power steering reservoir. It's properly mounted, filled to the proper level, cap on tight, no leaks. From there, you're going to move on over here. Right here, this called, come see on this side. This is called your air compressor, and this blue hose run to your power steering pump. Properly mounted, no dents, cracks, or welds, and they both gear driven. Over there, belt driven, over here, gear driven. From there, we're going to move on to here. It's called your steering shaft. Your U-joints, and your grease fitting. All properly mounted, no dents, cracks, or welds. Checking your grease fitting, make sure it's greased. From there, you're going to put these four together. It's called your steering gearbox, your pitman arm, your drag link, and your shock. You're going to put all four of them together. All properly mounted, no dents, cracks, or welds. After you put it done four, you're going to put these three together. It's called your steering arm. It's called your steering ring knuckle. You got what you call a spindle in your tire you can't see. All properly mounted, no dents, cracks, or welds. Then you're going to see I also have two lock nuts with pins locked in place. You got two of them. Then you got two sets of rubber bushings. You want to make sure they're not dry rot. From there, you're going to go here. This is called hangers. It's going to be your front hanger. You got a hanger back here called your rear hanger. It's your leaf springs, your U-bolt, and that pipe to the back called a tie ride. All properly mounted, no dents, cracks, or welds. I'm checking my leaf springs, finding broke or missing springs, and so I bring it to the shop. After that, you're going to jump here and go follow the exact same suit on all your tires. Brake booster lines and fit. Properly mounted, no dents, cracks, or welds, no cut strips, or bulges, no leaks. Right here, this is your slack adjuster, and this is your push rod. Slack adjuster should have no more than 1 inch of play, if so I bring it to the shop. Then you're going to see my slack adjuster and my push rod both have pins locked in place. From there, you're going to your brake shoe, liner, disc, and drum. Checking your brake shoe for no grease, oil, or excessive wear. Then you're going to come over here and check your brake drum for no dents, cracks, welds, or holes. After you check your brake drum for no dents, cracks, welds, or holes, now you're going to check your inside tire, your outside tire, and your rim. First of all, when you see that, you're checking the tire for no cuts, scrapes, or bulges. Then you're going to come back, you're going to check your rim for no dents, cracks, or welds. After you check the rim, now you're going to check the top of your tire thread for no less than 4/32 of thread wear. Then you're going to say my front tire shouldn't have recap or mismatched tires on the front axle. Manufacturer PS5 for this tire is 110 to 130. You always check your lug for rust. Rust indicate they loose. They loose, they need to be tightened. They missing, they need to be replaced. This is your Earl hub. It's properly mounted, filled to the proper level, cap on tight, no leaks. Valve stem, properly mounted, no dents, cracks, or well, no leak, cap on tight. From the valve stem, you're going to hit the mud flap. All your mud flaps, you're saying the exact same thing. Mud flap, properly mounted, good condition with no loose or missing bolts. Then you're going to go from the mud flap up here to your mirror bracket and mirrors. Checking your mirrors to make sure they're clean with no cracks. Then you're going to come here. Checking your door handle, make sure it's working properly. Then you're going to open your door. You're going to check your door hinges, make sure they're not loose. Now you're going to check your window, make sure it's on track and working properly. Now you're going to check your door seal for no cuts, scrapes, or bulges, okay? Now you're going to shut it up. Right here, it's called your cab entrance bar. Properly mounted, no dents, cracks, or legal welds, no loose or missing bolts. Anywhere you got bolts, no dents, cracks, or legal welds, no loose or missing bolts. From there, you're going to come here. It's called your fuel tank, your catwalk, and your straps. All properly mounted, no dents, cracks, or welds, no loose or missing bolts. Then you're going to come in, it's right here, it's called your fuel pickup. Think about dropping something and picking it up. It's my fuel pickup, properly mounted, no dents, cracks, or welds. Got electrical wires down there, so you're checking your electrical wires all the way for no cuts or discoloration on your wire. From there, you're going to come here. My fuel cap, and the inside of your fuel cap, you got a rubber seal. You want to make sure it's not dry rot. From there, you're going to come back here. It's called your tool rack. Properly mounted, no dents, cracks, or welds. Then you're going to say, I also have 2 air tanks lined and fitting. I got one on each side of the truck. It's got 2 air tanks lined and fitting, properly mounted, no dents, cracks, or welds, no cut strips or bulges, no leaks. Right here, this is called your release valve, where you release the moisture out of your tanks. All right? From the release valve, you're going up here. It's called your top mode and your wires. Properly mounted, no dents, cracks, or welds, no loose or missing screws. Checking your electrical wire for no cuts or discoloration. Now you're going to come in, it's called your catwalk, side of your bed, the top arm, and your locking pin. All properly mounted, no dents, cracks, or welds. My pin locked in place. Now I'm going to check my top for any holes or rips. If so, I'll bring it to the shop. From the top, now you're going to check your reflectors and your lights. Checking your light for no crack. Checking the reflectors to make sure they're clean. Then after that, you're going to drop up under the truck. You're going to put these two together. It's my truck frame and my safety bar. Properly mounted, no dents, cracks, or welds. The only time I use my safety bar when I'm working on the truck to keep it from falling off. From there, you're going to drop down here. These are called hangers. This is called your front hanger. It's your rear hanger. Then you got your leaf spring. This is called clamps. You got 2 of them. Clamps, you got 1 on each end. You got a U-bolt back behind this tie, and it's called your top bar. All properly mounted, no dents, cracks, or welds. Then you're going to check the leaf spring for any broke or missing springs until you bring it to the shop. Okay, from there, now you're going to drop under here. Called your drive shaft, U-joint, and your hanger. That's drive shaft, U-joints, and hanger, properly mounted, no dents, cracks, or welds. Check them out, U-joints, make sure they're green. After you do the drive shaft, now you're jumping again. Brake booster lines and fit. Properly mounted, no dents, cracks, or welds, no cut, strip, or bulge, no leaks. You're about to repeat the same thing you repeated on the front tire. Next, after the brake booster, will always be your slack adjuster and push rod coming next. Slack adjuster should have no more than 1 inch of play, if so I bring it to the shop. A slack adjuster and my push rod got pins locked in place. After the slack adjuster and push rod, next coming your brake shoe, liner, disc, and drums again. Checking your brake shoe for no grease, earl, or accessory wear, your brake drum for no dents, cracks, welds, or holes. Now you're going to check your inside tire, your outside tire, and your rim. You're repeating yourself. First of all, you're going to check the tire for no cuts, scrapes, or bulges. Then your rim for no dents, cracks, or welds. Now you got double tires in here. Next, you're going to check the space between both tires to make sure they're not rubbing. They can cause a fire, and make sure there's no debris stuck between them might fly out and cause an accident. Now you're going to check the top of your tire and thread. You got 2 tires for no less than 2/32 of thread wear. Matter of fact, the PSI for this tire is 110 to 130 like the front tire. Right here, you can go check your lugs. Lugs, you're checking for rust. Rust indicates they're loose. If they're loose, they need to be tightened. If they're missing, they need to be replaced. Right here, this is the grease hub. It's properly mounted, filled to the proper level, cap on tight, no leaks. Valve stem, properly mounted, no dents, cracks, or welds, no leak, cap on tight. Mud flap, properly mounted, good condition, no loose or missing bolts. That's for all your mud flap. Then you're gonna come back here. You're gonna put these two together first of all. You're gonna see this is my back gate and my safety chain. Properly mounted, no dents, cracks, or welds. My gate is in a lock position. I also have my pin locked in place, all right? Also have my pin locked in place. Now you're gonna check the space in between your gate to make sure there's no debris that might fall out and cause an accident. Now you're gonna check your lights, reflectors, and your license plate. License plate is properly mounted, reflectors gonna always be clean, lights gonna always have no cracks. Then you're gonna come here. You got these called receptacles. I got 4 receptacles that I use when I'm hooking up the different trailers. Right here, this is called your pigtail. Right now, it's properly mounted. And inside of this line, I got wires, so I'm checking for no cuts or discoloration. And my line not dragging the ground. None of this stuff can drag the ground. From there, you're going to come in. It's called your glad hand. I got red for emergency, and I got blue for service. Also checking these lines for no cuts, scrapes, or bulges, and no leaks, and they're not dragging the ground. Right here, this is called your dummy couplers. The only time you use your dummy couplers when you're not hooked up to a trailer to keep the water and dirt from getting inside your line. From there, you're going to move on to here. It's called your shackle and your safety chain. Properly mounted, no dents, cracks, or welds. My chain in the lock position, not dragging the ground. Right here, this is called your eye, pinner hook, and locking pin. All properly mounted, no dents, cracks, or welds. They're all in the lock position. Then you're going to come in. It's called your trailer catwalk. Properly mounted, no dents, cracks, or welds. Right here is called your landing gear. Right now it's in the up lock position. I need to lower it down. My handle is locked in my toolbox. Then we're going to come in on top of my trailer bed. This is the top of my trailer bed. Checking to make sure there's no debris up here that might fly off and cause an accident. After that, now you're going to check the side of your trailer and your shackle. Properly mounted, no dents, cracks, or welds. I use my shackle to tie down my load. Now you're going to check your lights and your reflectors. Make sure your reflectors clean, lights have no cracks. Now you're going to move down here. Come under the trailer. This is called your trailer frame. Trailer frame, properly mounted, no dents, cracks, or welds. After that, you're going to move along to here called your hangers. You got over there going to be your front hanger. This is going to be your rear hanger. The pipe that runs through both of the hangers is called a stabilizer bolt. This little pipe called a control bolt. Got your leaf springs on top. Middle way of this tie, you got a U-bolt. And on this side, you got the saddle like you ride a horse. So what you got a front hanger, rear hanger, stabilizer bolt, control bolt, leaf springs, U-bolt, and saddle. You're going to put it all together now. All properly mounted, no dents, cracks, or welds. Go back, check your leaf spring. When they broke or missing springs, and so you bring it to the shop. Right after you see that, now you're about to start all over again. Brake, booster lines, and fit. Properly mounted, no dents, cracks, or welds, no cut strips, or bulges, and no leaks. Next, going to be your slack adjuster and push rod. Slack adjuster should have no more than 1 inch of play, so I bring it to the shop. My slack adjuster, my push rod got pins locked in place. Following that, going to be your brake shoe, liner, disc, and drum. Checking your brake shoe for no grease, oil, or excessive wear. You're going to check your brake drum for no dents, cracks, welds, or holes. Now you're going to check your inside tire, your outside tire, and your rim. First of all, you're going to check your tires all the way for no cut strips or bulges, then the rim, no dents, cracks, or welds. You got double tires on here, so you're going to check the spacing like you did the other one. Make sure the 2 tires not rubbing, it can cause a fire, and make sure there's no debris that might fly out and cause an accident. Now you're going to check the top of your tire thread for no less than 2/32 of thread weight, just like the back dump truck tire. Matter of fact, the PSI for this tire is 80. Then you're going to see I'm checking my lug for rust. Rust indicates they're loose. If loose, they need to be tightened. If they're missing, they need to be replaced. Earl hub, properly mounted, no dents, cracks, or welds. The fill to the proper level. My cap on tight, no leaks. Valve stem, properly mounted, no dents, cracks, or welds, no leak, cap on tight. Mud flap, properly mounted, good condition with no loose or missing bolts. Then you're going to come back here. Right here, these called loading ramps. Right now they're in the up lock position. Then you're going to see I'm checking my lights, my reflectors, and my license plate properly mounted, reflectors clean, lights have no cracks. After you say that, the guy going to be back here with you. You're going to tell him I said this side, you want to say that side, you're going to say no. Right here gonna be your muffler exhaust, muffler stack guard, and muffler screw. You're gonna put it all together, all properly mounted, no dents, cracks, or welds. You're gonna loosen this and bolt. You're gonna tell them I'm also checking for black soot that indicate holes that poison fumes can leak into the cab of my truck. You're gonna tell them when I get in the cab of my truck, to put my in the cab and show you all my lights are working properly, because you're gonna do them from the inside. It's called my clearance lights at top, clearance lights, headlights, and blinker lights. And that's it. That's your clearance lights up there. And that's it. Good? Clearance lights, your headlights, and your blinker lights. That's it. That's what you're gonna be doing every day.